Good morning, bird brains. So I mentioned a video or two back that while I was in Iowa, I was able to do some thinking, and some analytic thinking is probably the better word. You know, that's what I do for a living, is I analyze things. So I'm in the wrong lane. God damn it. Oh well. One thing I realized after I was thinking about the channel, I want to do another build series. I was extremely happy while I was doing that, even though it was like the most stressful time of the channel. It's by far my favorite time on the channel. I want to find a way to make that happen again. Now, I'm not necessarily set on doing another build series on this bike. If I was, I would like to do a Hammer 1275 kit on it. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Hammer kits, basically it's a bolt-on kit that makes your Sportster 883 into a Sportster 1275. Now, there used to be 1250 kits, but they found a way to squeeze another 25 cc's into it somehow. I don't know, don't ask me. I think it's magic somehow. They must have a deal with the devil or something. Basically, you bolt on different jugs and your bike has almost twice as much I think more than twice as much horsepower, but almost twice as much cc's. I think it takes it to like 100 horsepower or close to it, which is ridiculous for a bike. I think right now it's got like 45, 50, depending on, I think they come stock at around 40, 42. I think with the Vance and Hines and the intake, it's around 45 to 50, somewhere around there. I think, I could be wrong. But this kit would take it to, I want to say 100, but I want to say I'm wrong. I think it's closer to 75. But even 75, I mean, that's almost doubling your power. That's absolutely nuts. And everyone I've talked to said they absolutely love the kit. They say it feels like a completely different bike, which makes perfect sense considering it's making twice as much horsepower. I looked into that, and I'm confident I could do the job, but the kit with everything, because you have to upgrade your clutch, you have to upgrade your pretty much everything. After the kit and everything, it comes out to about $1,600, which is way out of my price range right now. I just want to buy too many things right now. Like right now, I'm really focused on getting a drone. I'm really focused on saving up for a supermoto. A lot of expensive things. So speaking of supermoto, that's my option number 2. I don't know if I said I have 3 options that I'm looking for opinions on, but option number 2 is a supermoto. Now, I have already set up my budget. I've already gone through all the numbers, and I'm fairly confident I can buy a supermoto by the end of this year. Now, that being said, I'm talking like November, December time frame with the current budget right now. Also, I'm not going to, I know I said supermoto, but I'm going to buy a dirt bike and convert it into supermoto. Definitely not going to go as crazy as Motonocity's build was. Most of that work he did was so he could powder coat the frame. Although it looks badass, I'm not going through that much work just to change the color of a frame. If I want to do that, I'll just tape off shit and paint it while the motor's still on it. Like, I'm definitely not going to take the motor out just to powder coat the frame. But I am going to buy a dirt bike and convert it. Pretty much I think that one will be more of a long running build series. I kind of like it to compare it to Blockhead's channel. A lot of people say that we're, you know, exactly the same, and to be honest, we are very similar people. But if you watch his channel, his bike has completely changed since when he bought it, but he does everything in pieces. He'll buy the seat and then do an episode on the seat. He'll buy the LED lights and then do an episode on that. Everything he does is in stages, and it's worked out pretty goddamn well for him. I think he just passed 11,000 subscribers. Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. But he's got the discipline to do that stuff, and I don't. But I think if I did it in stages like he does, I would have discipline, because that shit takes forever to record and edit and everything like that. So that's why on the build series was more of just a documentary of me building the bike as opposed to showing you what I was doing. Just because the amount of time it would take to show you everything I did would be ridiculous. The guy had 5 bikes in his garage. Hell yeah. But going back to the supermoto, I think it'd be a long running build series. So of course I'd focus on wheels, tires, and brakes, and then whatever I need to make it street legal, like lights or whatever. I'd pretty much make it base dirt bike street legal with, I don't know, I might even run knobbies on the streets for a while if I can start the series a little bit earlier. I'll probably just focus on getting it street legal first, and then wheels, tires, and brakes and everything will be next on the list. And then can go into some more in-depth stuff like frame sliders and axle sliders, supermoto plastics, supermoto seats, maybe changing out the bars, just stuff like that. I mean, if you've watched the channel for a while, you know I've wanted a supermoto very badly. Me and Miss Vikenberg went to Alamo Cycleplex to pick up some parts, and they just had dirt bikes galore in there. And man, I started like just looking at them and touching them, and it just brought me back to when I used to race dirt bikes, and that was kind of just, it brought me back, you know. So I'm really gonna focus on getting that done. So like I said, that's already budgeted in. That's pretty much going to happen guaranteed, but it's not gonna happen until, like I said, November, December. Option number 3. Option number 3 is a build on Miss Vikenberg's bike. The reason I'm putting this at option number 3 and not very confident in it is because, one, I don't know the time frame that she will be able to afford a bike, nor are we focused on what she's going to get. She did her course on a 250cc cruiser, and she thought that was too heavy. So I don't know how she's going to do with a 600 or an 883 or something like that. But she sat on some of the Ninjas while we were at Cycleplex, and she said that she didn't like the way that she was hunched over, which I knew was going to be a problem. She also has a very hard time tiptoeing them. So I kind of explained to her, like, yeah, bikes are heavy. Like, even me, like I said, grew up on dirt bikes. Even my CBR 600 felt extremely ridiculously heavy to me the first time I sat on it, just because I wasn't used to that big a motor, that big of chassis, just that big of everything. And I think for someone who has never ridden before, bikes are just going to feel that much heavier because the only thing that they're used to is bicycles. So I kind of explained that to her, and she said, maybe you're right. She sat on the Rebel 300, which, by the way, looks badass. Great job, Honda. It's kind of their new style cruiser. Kind of takes some of the Sportster look to it, but very, very modern, very, very clean looking. I love the way those bikes look. But they're 300 cc's in a cruiser. Now, I told her I was going to do some research. I still haven't because I'm a terrible boyfriend and everything, but I told her I'd do some research on it to see if they're worth it, because I honestly have no idea the specs on it. If it's light enough, it might be worth the purchase. So the price range is great. I think they're only like 3,600 or maybe 4,000, something like that. I don't know. But if she gets one of those, she's like me. She doesn't like leaving things stock and boring, so she'll want to definitely do some work to it. But I don't know, once again, time frame wise, what she would be looking at as far as how much money she wants to put into it, what she wants to do to it. So that whole idea is kind of up in the air until we get a little bit more information on when she's planning to buy, what she wants to do to it, and how quickly she can do it. But either way, whether I go hammer kit, supermoto, or go for hers will probably happen. Just it's going to depend on time frame. Honestly, all three will probably happen. I'm really more looking to which one should I do first. Going back to the hammer kit, that's not in the budget right now, but we could possibly make it in the budget. So before this video comes out, and while this video is still going, I will reopen the Teespring. It was mildly successful last time, but I think I've gained like almost 1,000 subscribers since then. So I do make the t-shirts pretty affordable. I try to keep my t-shirts under $20. That way you can afford to get the upgraded shipping and everything like that. But I'll explain all that in the t-shirt video that has already come out by the time you watch this video. Also, if you would like to just support me without spending $20, my decals are always for sale. They are always down in the description, and I make those decals myself, so any money you pay to that, it's off of an eBay site, but you can pay with it with a credit card, through PayPal, whatever you want. You can use it just like a regular store, but I make those, so all the profit goes directly to me. I'll put up a picture here of what the decals look like. You can get them in white or black, and you can put them on pretty much anything. You can put them on car windows, your bike, laptops, you name it. Anything hard or flat, you can put it on. Some people suggested opening up like a Patreon, but I just don't feel like I'm at that point yet. But I did do the math, and it might be worth it. But yeah, I've got 3,500 subscribers, but I really don't expect all 3,500 to donate. I mean, that's ridiculous. If I had 10% of my subscribers donate $1, that would be like $350, which would be great. I don't expect to even have 10%. Now, I'm not saying you guys are terrible viewers or anything. I really don't. Like I said, I don't expect you to donate. You're watching YouTube, so I mean, I'm not expecting a donation. I'm just going off of based on seeing stats from other channels and things like that, 10% is pretty damn high. But I don't know, if you would be willing, I don't know, let me know down in the comments. Like I said, even if it's like $1 a month or something like that, I mean, something small like that stuff will add up quick. That could bump up the Supermoto build a month or two. It could bump up the hammer kit to make it a possibility. I don't know, I just want options. So if you have any other ideas or options of what you would like to support the channel, let me know, because I mean, I think I'm pretty good at analyzing that stuff, but I could be completely off the mark. You let me know. Anyways, guys, this one's probably running kind of long, so I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode. Like I said, please leave feedback down in the comments. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.